Known as Little Greece, Malana is a village hidden from the world. Shrouded in mystery, it's up above on a plateau, far off from Parvati Valley. I reached there in a scenic car ride with my friends, going past tens of ridges of hills. An entire new world opens up when one goes past the approaching hill beyond which earlier there seemed to be nothing. The reason behind the moniker Little Greece is that people of Malana are believed to be descendants of a few soldiers in the army of Alexander the Great who got stranded here on account of injuries and decided to settle here. The villagers themselves, however, refute this theory and believe themselves to be descendants of their deity Rishi Jamdagni. Our first view of the Malana village, which appears near but is a grueling hike away, although one forgets the trouble in these views. Don't ask me how one climbs and harvests the honey here on such steep hills. This stream of cold, tasty mineral water took away all the weariness of the hike like a magic potion. It was fascinating to see our first Malana resident, this octogenarian with piercing eyes, sharp nose, amazing fitness and body balance, deftly skipping steps on the slippery slant ground. Kids with eyes of shades of green and blue and brown speaking Kanashi, the language of the village interspersed by Hindi. Special caution has to be taken to not touch any object and person in the village. A strong belief in the deity of the land, Rishi Jamlu or Jamdagni, believed to be one of the 7 sages who started the world, is ingrained in the fabric of the society here, from kids to adults. When was the last time you saw a kid just sitting in the sun pondering without a phone in hand? Our little heroine makes another perfect entry into the scene with that purposeful walk and look into the camera. The only school in Malana with teachers from far-off areas like Manikaran, envious of the view that these kids get. Malana cream, the hash grown here, carries its reputation to different parts of the world and in return brings enormous wealth to the village. For the same, we were approached by a peddler who could be a model in any part of the world with his rugged looks, high cheekbones, Roman nose, light green eyes. At the end of our off-the-camera conversation, we were well versed in the history and culture of the place. Having tea, I was floating on the clouds metaphorically, if you know what I mean. I saw heaven in the valley down below. It dawned upon me how the hills come together like the back of our hands, our crisscrossed fingers forming ridges of the hills, the river flowing in the intersection of the fingers, and worlds like that of Narnia in between these huge finger-shaped hills. Malana, known as the oldest democracy in the world, has its own set of rules, believed to be set by the deity himself, by which justice is done in the court that convenes in the middle of the village. The jury has both men and women. We were shorn of all our pride of doing the hike, seeing middle-aged mothers and old grannies carrying logs of wood on their back over miles of uphill terrain every day, while men work in the fields during the growing season, but otherwise spend hours idly chatting, intoxicated, playing cards. Women do the hardest of the labor every day. To think that this snow clad peak was once on the way of the old Silk Route made me stand admiring, thinking of travelers from far off eastern lands. We returned seeing the same unfolding of new worlds, going past mighty, quiet, somber, beautiful old hills, thinking of the hidden mystery that is Malana.